Welcome, top lovers of hip-hop, to PopPulseReact. We here again to bring you the narration of the court case between Drake and UMG, a case blowing over the internet space. Global superstar Drake has taken his fight off the charts and into the legal arena, suing Universal Music Group, his own label, over defamation tied to Kendrick Lamar's now infamous diss track, Not Like Us. At the center of the case, a line calling Drake a certified pedophile, a direct twist on the title of his own album, Certified Lover Boy. Never before has a diss track sparked a court case of this magnitude, where hip-hop lyrics become legal evidence and a judge is asked to interpret battle bars. It all began when Drake filed a defamation lawsuit against Universal Music Group, claiming the label promoted and monetized Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us, a diss track that, according to Drake, crossed the line between artistic expression and slander. The central issue? Kendrick's wordplay calling him a certified pedophile, which Drake's team says went beyond metaphor and entered the realm of personal and damaging accusation. UMG, which also distributes Kendrick's music, is accused of intentionally boosting the track despite the controversy. Drake argues that by allowing and even encouraging the dissemination of the track, UMG acted in negligence or malice, thereby harming his public image. Overview of the court case.
Here, you guys, the day has arrived. Now, today was day one for the hearing about UMG's request for dismissal in Drake versus UMG's case. Now, you guys all know this is for the defamation case after Drake was called a certified pedophile by Kendrick. The lawyers from both sides were in court today to present their arguments about their certified PDF line.
UMG and Drake lawyers have entered the courtroom.
Right? They were in court speaking with a judge. The UMG asked the court to dismiss Drake's case, and they argued that Drake relied on vague claims. Drake and Drake's actual attorney was responding back to the UMG attorneys, saying that what matters is that the listeners can interpret the Kendrick Lamar lyrics as factual.
I am still mind blown that Drake actually took the record label to court because of a diss track. I don't understand how any of y'all could ever support Drake when it comes to hip hop. I don't want to talk to y'all. If you are okay, or if you just try to act as if this is not a big deal, I don't understand it. To me, Drake could never be top anything in hip hop. He wouldn't even be in my top 50 in hip hop because of this. This is not a small thing. I know a lot of y'all probably think this is something small. This is not a small thing. Him doing this is not a small thing. This is going to change the trajectory, or the landscape, I should say, not trajectory. It's going to change the landscape, the whole entire landscape of hip hop.
Presiding over the case is Judge Janette Vargas, who immediately challenged UMG's initial defense. When UMG's legal team argued that diss tracks by nature are never defamatory, Judge Vargas pushed back. New York law does not make the form dispositive. In other words, just because a statement is made in a song doesn't make it immune from legal scrutiny. This pivotal moment set the tone. The court would treat the lyrics not as jokes or metaphors by default, but as statements that could be judged on their meaning, intent, and impact.
The judge is saying, you seem to say a diss track could never be defamatory, but New York law says the form is not dispositive, okay? And the judge is talking to UMG's lawyer, because UMG's lawyer, of course, is trying to propose that this was strictly a rap battle. The hyperbole, the exaggeration, the point of the whole thing is to diss each other, disrespect, discredit, and create foul narratives about your opponent, right?
You seem to say a diss track could never be defamatory, but New York law says the form is not dispositive. UMG lawyer responded saying, look at the Shock Jock case. Judge Vargas responds back saying that's not the same thing.
Well, it wouldn't be the same thing, Judge. Like, that's the whole point of referencing a case, is not going to be the same exact thing. Like, some of these judges, I swear, man, sometimes I think they make up their own rules as they go along. They don't go along. Like with the whole Diddy thing, and the judge basically saying that the woman got on stand, she lied on stand. They caught her in a lie, completely perjured herself, just completely lied, and he act as if it was nothing. That's the whole point of you taking an oath. I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And then she gets on the stand and lies, and the judge act like it was nothing. Oh yeah, well, you had your Columbo moment. It's cool. Like, really? So this woman can lie on the stand and it's okay. Like, come on, man. But anyway, this is what I'm talking about.
Perhaps the court needs more information and cannot dismiss. Then Judge Vargas goes on to ask UMG's lawyer, what are
certified pedophiles? The judge asked, what are certified pedophiles? UMG's lawyer says it's a play on Certified Lover Boy, the Drake album, Certified Lover Boy, CLB. The judge says, but would the ordinary listener know the name of Drake's album, Certified Lover Boy? UMG's lawyer says the context is all the rumors about Drake and young females. UMG's lawyer says we seek dismissal for Drake having used the information and belief form of pleading.
It's kind of probable that the case will go through, but if anyone knows of Drake's shady dealings, it's going to be UMG. But who knows if they're willing to have full disclosure of the business. People settle all the time even when they're not guilty, keep details like that secret. But UMG already said that Drake did the very same things he's accusing them of in what they basically called his very petty beefs. And as far as Mo goes, I'm going to take the info with a grain of salt because he was totally wrong about the Tory case. And from what I've been hearing, he's more of like an ambulance chaser. He does more injury litigation, and specialties exist for a reason. I mean, you wouldn't have your real estate attorney handle your divorce. It's probably going to be a very, very rough proceeding.
UMG's lawyers doubled down on their defense, citing artistic freedom, battle rap culture, and prior cases involving exaggerated speech. They referenced the famous shock jock ruling, asserting that Kendrick's lyrics were nothing more than the brash, exaggerated banter that's always existed in hip-hop. Their key argument, Kendrick's line was a satirical jab, a play on Drake's own album title, and deeply rooted in the norms of rap battles, where pushing boundaries is part of the art. They argued that no reasonable listener would take it as a factual statement.
Judge Vargas, you seem to say a diss track can never be defamatory, but NY law says the form is not dispositive, meaning that dispositive will just settle it, dispel legally what's going on, settle all disputes, settle all controversy, right? Very definitive. UMG, look at the shock jock cases. Not the same thing, says the judge. Perhaps the court needs more info and cannot dismiss.
Also in court as well today, and here's his take on how things went today in court.
Drake versus Universal Music Group. Judge Vargas just completed her hearing on the motion to dismiss. Let me tell you what I think she's going to do with this case. As you know, Drake sued Universal Music claiming defamation in the publication of the song Not Like Us, making him and calling him a pedophile when in fact he never was. Universal Music Group moved to dismiss those claims. They say, Judge, you can't actually bring a lawsuit like this. Why? Because the statement, certified lover boy, certified pedophile, first off, how do you certify a lover boy in the same way you certify a pedophile?
That's a bar. I didn't even think about that. Huh? Actually, isn't being on the register the way to certify it, now that I think about it? But how do you certify a lover boy? Okay.
Trash talk, hyperbole, trash talk, just nonsense being said in rap songs. That's not something you can sue for. You have to dismiss this case. What do I think the judge is going to do? Universal's big argument is that look at the context of what happened here. In the tailor-made freestyle, Drake was out there saying, yeah, go ahead, talk about how I like young girls. That's going to be a win for me.
You know what? Hearing that now in hindsight, it's kind of crazy. Because if you look at that line again, is he saying, hopefully I'm 100% bugging. That'd be nice, right? Actually, I think I'm wrong because I don't think he was thinking like that. Drake, it's impossible, right? Yeah, talk about me liking young girls to infamy. Because when you do that, I'm gonna sue. I'm gonna get you. Go ahead and play around and play them games. Call me that, and I got you. My lawyers, they're gonna pack you up. My friend, Tsunami, Sue Young, the sewer, they're gonna get you, brother. Say the line again. Say it again.
That's an actual quote from the tailor-made freestyle. And now Kendrick comes back. He accepts his invitation to talk about the young girls. So what's the problem? This is the trash talk back and forth that we all expected to happen in this rap battle.
Exactly. Once they went behind not just doing compound rhyming and lyrics versus lyrics, and they say a low blow here, a low blow there, we expected y'all to do the dirt shit, the mudslinging.
Drake's lawyers made a great argument, which is, wait a second. Not Like Us was not part of the rap battle. Yeah, it was a song in the rap battle, but it eclipsed the rap battle and became its own thing, a cultural phenomenon, a song like no other song in the history of music, quite frankly.
What? Huh? What did you just say? Take the why and leave the... There's no way I heard that right. It's impossible. And you said that's a great argument? You mean to tell me they in them courtrooms right now saying to the good people that Not Like Us is not a part of the rap battle? What? Disgusting. Huh? That don't make sense. It's not even the last song in the rap battle. The last song was Hard Part 6. What are y'all? Huh? Am I bugging right now? Am I being trolled? Did y'all tag me to some troll footage?
It was a part of the rap battle. The Hard Part 6 wasn't the Hard Part 6. It wasn't even the last diss track. You can't say because the song's popularity, it is no longer a part of the rap battle? What? Loaded Luck's third round against Calico was so famous, Jay-Z quoted it. A$AP Rocky made a song, put in, or was it Ferg? Regardless, put in work. You gonna get this work became a colloquialism in all culture. You do not get to separate that third round from that battle and say, because it was so important and became so famous, it's no longer a part of this battle? What type of argument is that?
It got to 300 million streams in 35 days. Nothing else has ever done that. Today, it sits at 9 billion streams. The way Universal took this song and pushed it out, they made it into something else. The judge's decision is basically, what would a reasonable listener listening to this song decide? Arguably, the judge could find that a reasonable listener, I don't know who the reasonable listener is. It's too early in the case. I need more evidence. I need more discovery. I need to actually see what people have been saying about this song, what people can testify about how they heard it, so on and so forth. Long story short, I think what's going to happen in this case, the motion to dismiss will get denied. It's way too early to try to dismiss this case. Either way, this case will get appealed to the Second Circuit, and so you're going to have this case going on and on for quite a long time.
But Drake's team countered aggressively. They argued that while diss tracks have long been provocative, Not Like Us wasn't just any track. It became a cultural phenomenon, trending globally and reaching millions outside hip-hop's core audience. Many listeners, especially those unfamiliar with rap's rhetorical traditions, interpreted the certified pedophile line literally. Moreover, Drake's lawyers claimed this was aggravated by previous rumors online, turning a punchline into what felt like a public indictment. The song wasn't just part of the battle, it was weaponized on a massive scale, with UMG allegedly enabling it.
Now, there's also this very interesting exchange between Drake's lawyer and the judge. Drake's lawyer said UMG made this song, referring to Not Like Us, more culturally ubiquitous than any other 9 billion streams played at a bar mitzvah.
The long and short of it is Drake feels like Universal Music Group, they sort of artificially inflated Not Like Us. They went out of their way for, bots and payola. getting Kendrick opportunities like the Super Bowl, which in Drake's mind led to not only his career being markedly affected in a negative way, but also his safety being threatened, him and his family's safety being threatened. Like, he really feels like this diss record, instead of just, affecting his career, it's basically destroyed his whole life.
Judge Vargas responds saying an interesting bar mitzvah that would play the song.
That would play this song. Judge Vargas seems pretty switched on to the context and everything that's going on. We have we've got a well-informed judge who is very quick off the top too.
Judge Vargas then says, then there's the use of the AI voice of Tupac. Drake's lawyer responds saying, I'm not convinced of the relevance.
He said, nah, I rock with Drake lawyer for that. That's how you hold it down. The judge said, didn't he also, what they're alluding to is, didn't he also defame nigga? I don't even know what you're talking about, keep it real, nigga. Listen, at this moment, we ain't even talking about that. That's like your girl accused you of cheating. She finds a text message of you flirting, you be like, what does that have to do? That ain't got nothing to do with this, bro. Like, how you even know this me? That's how you hold it down for your niggas.
The judge says, wait, shouldn't I view the entire rap battle?
Wow, that's another really big point, right? That if the judge is already seeing it from that lens, because this is one of UMG's big responses. Well, your client Drake wants to point the finger at us and point the finger at Kendrick Lamar for saying these things, but it's completely ignoring the context because Drake has also said and defamed Kendrick Lamar's character. He's also insulted him. He's willingly participated in this rap battle. And why is family matters not being brought up? Talking about Kendrick abusing Whitney, talking about the rumors, talking about one of Kendrick's kids not being his. Where's the conversation around that? Hey, Pot, I'm Kettle. How are you? So it's very interesting that Judge Vargas is also going, maybe I should look at the rap battle in its entirety. Right?
Drake's lawyer says, well, this was unique. Judge says Kendrick Lamar did not know he'd perform at the Super Bowl. Drake's lawyer responds saying UMG republished the material with knowledge when it launched the Super Bowl campaign. There were 3 attacks on his home. The cover art is Drake's home with sex offender location tags. The judge then responds with something very interesting. She says, wait, didn't Drake say Kendrick Lamar is not the biological father of his child?
Oh shit. See, you never know, man. You never know who's paying attention. You never know who's paying attention. The judge literally said, shouldn't I listen to all the tracks? Didn't he use Tupac's voice? Wait, didn't Drake say that he wasn't the father of his child? Oh, this ain't good. This ain't good for Drake. Now that I heard that, this case might get dismissed. This might get dismissed. I don't know. They saying, I don't know if the motion got denied yet or not, but if she's talking like that, I don't know, man. She's basically arguing from UMG's point of view. And she says stuff that UMG didn't say.
Drake's lawyer responds saying the court does not have enough information on that.
The judge clapping back again. But you know what this also shows? This shows that the judge has heard all the diss tracks. Judge has heard all the disses, right? The judge is not walking into this blind. Judge is well informed of the context of everything. Now it makes sense why the judge said, shouldn't I just look at the entire battle? And hasn't Drake done all of these things? So the judge fully understands this and will weigh this when the judge decides whether to proceed or not.
Oh, he said the cover, hold on. He said the court doesn't have enough info on that? What you mean the court? You don't. What you mean the court don't? So this so one-sided, you know what? You supposed to come in there prepared, and I'm not saying that he didn't, it seems that he may not. The attorney for Drake I'm talking about. You supposed to come in prepared to back up the bullshit you've been doing. You need to have a clapback. Man, they gonna say something about you talking about Whitney, man. They free. He eats that motherfucker out. How you go from A to sue? You gotta sue, bro. We got.
So overall, some very interesting exchanges between the judge and the lawyers on both sides. Right now, there's no telling which way the judge is leaning, but it's definitely good to know that the judge is not only informed, but she has knowledge of what happened during the battle.
As the courtroom becomes the new battleground, the Drake versus UMG case stands as a historic moment for hip-hop. It's no longer just about who won the battle musically, it's about who controls the narrative legally. This case could reshape the boundaries between art and law, between metaphor and meaning. Stay tuned, because hip-hop history is being written in real time. Like, comment, and subscribe for more updates as this story unfolds. And let us know in the comments, who do you believe is in the right?